My name is Jesús San-Miguel. I'm professor of hematology working at the University of Navarra in Spain. And it is my pleasure to discuss with you about the impact of achieving MRD negativity in the quality of life of patients. As you know, it is well established that MRD negativity is associated with prolonged survival. And in fact, it has been recognized as a new endpoint for accelerated conditional drug approval. But regulatory authorities require evidence that achieving the deepest level of response, defined as MRD negativity, does not occur at the cost of an increase in adverse events or a deterioration in the patient. In order to try to answer this potential question, we decided to focus on two recent trials, PERSEUS and CEPHEUS, that has contributed to generate new standard of care based on quadruplet by comparing D-VRd versus VRd. In both studies, it was shown that the quadruplets were associated with prolonged progression-free survival, and this was generated by an increase in MRD. And in fact, in these two trials, MRD was the primary or secondary endpoint. In addition, in these two studies, we were able to analyze the patient-reported outcome using the EORTC questionnaire, as well as the treatment adverse events based on the NCI scale. As I have mentioned, the quadruplets, D-VRd versus the triplet in both studies showed superior MRD rates. And in addition, we observed that the patient achieving MRD negativity had not only longer PFS, but also longer treatment duration. And because of this, the longer treatment duration, we have, based on the difference in the treatment duration between the MRD negative and the MRD positive patient, we assess the exposure-adjusted safety outcome per 100 patients per month in order to make a better balance between the two, the MRD negative and the MRD positive patients. In both the CEPHEUS and the PERSEUS, and also both in the D-VRd and the VRd arm, we have observed that the overall treatment adverse event, but particularly the serious adverse event that could have led to treatment discontinuation or death or an increase in infection, consistently favor patients who achieve MRD negativity. In addition, the patient-reported outcome were similar for patients achieving MRD negativity versus the MRD positive patients, or even better for the MRD negative patients. Therefore, I think we have shown here for the first time that achievement of MRD negativity does not only improve the survival, but is also associated with favorable PRO and exposure-adjusted safety outcome versus the MRD positive patients treated with what are the current new standard of care for newly diagnosed patients. And I think that overall, this data will help reassure physicians that the pursuit of MRD negativity in patients with newly diagnosed patients does not adversely impact in safety or quality of life.